regardless of whether you recognize some of these particular galaxy far, far away gaffs, or are witnessing them all for the joyous first time. It is time to sit back, relax your lovely self, and enjoy/endure some of those moments when the Force briefly was not strong, with everyone from acting superstars to the folks calling the shots behind the lens. I am Gareth from What Culture Star Wars, and here are 10 Star Wars bloopers you need to see. Number 10, Yoda forgets his line, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. With the mighty Force behind everyone's favourite little green legend having to juggle both the voice of the Jedi Master and his puppet mouth every time he was initially seen during the Skywalker saga, you can forgive the brilliant Frank Oz from dealing with the odd brain fart from time to time. It's just a shame one of the most infamous occurrences of the figure synonymous with Master Yoda, completely forgetting what came next, went down during the delivery of arguably one of the most significant lines in The Phantom Menace. Revealed during the film's blooper reel, Oz can be seen letting loose the captivating "always two there are, no more, no less" when talking about the returning Sith. Only instead of following that unmistakable lineup with the words "a master and an apprentice," the legendary voice giggles his way through a blunder as the diminutive puppet is found asking George Lucas if he can cut for another take. It's unquestionably surreal watching Oz's usually controlled puppet performance quickly turning into an awkward and somewhat charming botched take. But it also serves as a reminder as to why the practical puppetry was always so much more convincing than the CGI it was eventually replaced with. For a second there, you genuinely believe an alien presence on set needed a second longer with the script. Number 9, The Emperor Loses His Head, Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And on the opposite side of the light-dark divide was none other than Ian McDiarmid's relentlessly unsettling Emperor Palpatine. But similarly to Master Yoda and the outstanding talent bringing him to life, McDiarmid also didn't make it out of this galaxy without the odd embarrassing botch. Most notably, what acted as perhaps the dramatic climax of the entire original trilogy didn't always go completely according to plan on the day of shooting. In fact, on one occasion when being hoisted up by Darth Vader before getting launched down a reactor shaft, the leader of the Empire's hood hilariously decided to suddenly steal the show. Dropping off McDiarmid's head as he was yanked up high by wires, the dramatic powerhouse was then forced to dangle in the air as his prosthetic headpiece was clumsily exposed, all while a crew member tried desperately to spare his blushes. And in a particularly satisfying development, it turns out that the Emperor's feeble skills were no match for the power of gravity. Number 8, Chewie gets a little close to Guinness, Episode 4, A New Hope. It's no secret that Sir Alec Guinness wasn't the biggest fan of much of his experience in George Lucas's sci-fi universe. But that's not to say that he still didn't have a little bit of fun on occasion, sensing the all-round absurdity of the scenario he found himself at the center of during one specific moment on the Millennium Falcon. The Oscar winner simply could not hide a wry smirk at Peter Mayhew's Chewbacca during A New Hope. The scene involved Chewie reaching to flick a switch of some sort after Harrison Ford delivered his iconic "This is where the fun begins." But it was that particularly furry movement that swiftly left Guinness's face being completely obscured for his subsequent moment. Rather than throw a tantrum though, Guinness proceeded to fire a few comically puzzled and brassed-off glances at his scene-stealing co-star before the chuckling crew joined in on having a laugh about this pretty odd blunder. Though how Mayhew could see anything in that bulky get-up is anyone's guess, so Guinness was likely just lucky to not find himself being accidentally backhanded by the towering Wookiee. Number 7, 3PO Takes a Tumble, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. In another case of the routinely awkward costumes the talents behind the galaxy's many alien and robotic figures were forced to don, leading to the odd awkward mistake, Anthony Daniels' time as C-3PO also wasn't always what you'd class as a breeze. The actor usually could only see straight forwards when fully kitted up as the protocol droid, which meant that when he was tasked with wandering out of shot while Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman's Obi-Wan Kenobi and Padme Amidala shared a close-up together in Revenge of the Sith, calamity was only a few footsteps away. After not clocking the platform in front of him, Daniels proceeded to tumble straight through everything in his path, awkwardly clunking to the ground in the middle of the green screen scene. Cue McGregor and Portman giggling like naughty younglings upon realizing what had just happened off camera. Unfortunately for the various souls required to beep and assist many a Jedi, Sith, Rebel or Imperial within this droid-stuffed universe though, this was often just a daily occupational hazard. Number 6, R2-D2's Many Wipeouts, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. There's taking a fall on one rather humiliating but still somewhat amusing occasion. Then there's turning an entire movie into your own personal total wipeout course. And unfortunately for longtime Star Wars favourite R2-D2, the Phantom Menace ended up being a rather painful shoot for the piece of tech. It's the sheer variety of R2's unlucky collisions and stumbles that makes it pretty damn near impossible to take in the film's blooper reel without cracking an irrepressible smile though. From not quite being able to manage the Naboo terrain when meeting up with the Gungans on a few separate takes, something that also led to the team behind Episode 1 brilliantly fully animating Jar Jar Binks' surprise responses, to regularly smacking into alien beings and stubborn walls. It's a good thing the late great Kenny Baker was only used to play R2 sporadically in the flick, or he may have needed more than a few soaks in a Bacta tank. Also, try taking in the unlucky astromech seemingly losing his robot footing and slowly falling off a Coruscant platform whilst Qui-Gon tells little Annie about the wonders of midichlorians without unleashing a devilish chuckle. Go on, do it. Number 5, General F-Word. Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Though there have been a few occasional curses let loose in the franchise recently, it's still incredibly rare to witness even the most detestable of baddies swear their heads off mid-Star Wars exchange. And that's what makes the visual of Domhnall Gleeson's General Armitage Hux increasingly losing his cool over the course of shooting a sequence in The Rise of Skywalker so damn compelling to behold. Whilst wandering around the First Order steadfast vessel with a cane, after having Finn blast him in the leg, the undercover spy is soon found out by Richard E. Grant's formidable Allegiant General Enric Pride and taken out there and then. Only this wasn't a case of smashing it in one take by any means, as Gleeson consistently struggled to deliver his lying report to the Allegiant General without suddenly bursting into a sea of expletives on the day, something that was comically revealed during the film's bloopers. The key takeaway here is that the hilariously forgetful Gleeson seemed to be making it his mission to crack up the entire cast and crew throughout Episode 9, with his chaotic repeated deliveries of yes, yes, we don't have much time, yes, also leaving his teammates in stitches while shooting too. Number 4, Jeans Guy steals the show, The Mandalorian. Whereas the rest of the unfortunate mistakes that make up this list all ended up being cut from the finished article during the editing process, the same initially could not be said for The Mandalorian's bizarre Jeans Guy. That's because back when the hit Disney Plus show was debuting its second season in front of the Mandalorian-loving corners of the galaxy, Chapter 12 saw the unexpected arrival of a unique new alien creature sporting just one navy blue leg, a watch-equipped arm, and a casual t-shirt. You shouldn't be expecting a Jeans Guy Star Wars spin-off series anytime soon, however, as the fact this rogue crew member's unintentional cameo soon became public knowledge soon resulted in the folks behind the Beskar Badasses show digitally removing the random appearance later down the road. We'll always have the denim memories amidst Grief Karga, Cara Dune and Din Djarin's gripping shootout though, they'll never take those away. Number 3, John Boyega's Bio Mishap, Episode 8, The Last Jedi. A quick glance at the substantial blooper reel for Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi outing tells the story of a cast and crew who are seemingly only ever a few seconds away from bursting into a fit of uncontrollable laughter or getting locked into a vicious loop of frustrating takes. And while John Boyega was at least lucky that his particularly annoying Episode 8 redos did not involve him getting repeatedly whacked in the face by the iconic Carrie Fisher, his difficulties delivering the word biohexacrypt during a scene with Rose, Poe and BB-8 certainly must have felt as painful at times. It's the typically blank expression on C-3PO's face in the background, little BB-8's concerned head tilt, and Oscar Isaac and Kelly Marie Tran helplessly watching on as their mate tries to maintain his cool, that all merely lead to Boyega growing more exasperated with each unfortunate blunder. He only went and nailed it in the end though, and after watching just how tough a task it was trying to perfect such a seemingly throwaway piece of sci-fi jargon, the entire sequence feels that little bit more satisfying upon a rewatch. Number 2, Hayden Christensen can't find his footing. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Returning to those times, the galaxy's most recognizable figures simply could not put one foot in front of the other on a movie set, a young Hayden Christensen definitely did a great deal of falling whilst making his Star Wars debut in Attack of the Clones. Whether he was clashing lightsabers with the masterful Count Dooku, trying his best to catch up to slippery bounty hunters, or just trying to make a swift exit from his soon-to-be wife's bedchambers, the Anakin Skywalker actor just couldn't catch a damn break. If there was something to trip over, slip on, or smash into, Christensen was your chosen one. fan. The fun-loving star also shared many a laugh with Natalie Portman on the back of botching the odd on-screen conversation too. The Amidala actor's deadpan "let go of me" delivery, despite Christensen not remembering to grab hold of the former Queen of Naboo, makes for a particularly wholesome blooper. And the future Darth Vader also only goes and foreshadows his eventual crispy Mustafar fate by letting out an impromptu "God that's hot" mid-meal stop with Padme during the episode 2 blooper reel. The soup on Naboo is not for the faint-hearted, folks. Number 1. Peter Cushing gets tongue-tied. Episode 4, A New Hope. The story goes that Carrie Fisher's brief jump into a British accent during A New Hope came about partially due to the Princess Leia actor being slightly intimidated by the presence of acting titan Peter Cushing on set, and these nerves partly caused her to revert to an RP sound on the day. But if you needed a reminder of the rather charming man behind the often heartless mask of Grand Moff Tarkin, then look no further than the hilarious outtake of the pair's intense verbal showdown on the Death Star, with Cushing decked out in his comfiest slippers, trying to bully Leia into revealing the whereabouts of the Rebel Alliance's base. The usually unflappable veteran suddenly finds himself getting somewhat tongue-tied, and it's that unplanned bout of verbal misfiring that soon leads to the heartwarming sight of a flustered Cushing playfully shaking Fisher as the two late Star Wars icons share a friendly laugh and a smile together. After this quick flustered finger point and break of character though, it was back to destroying entire planets and breezing through the space station in his slip-ons. And that's our list of any other Star Wars bloopers folks need to see. Then let us know all about them in the comment section right down below, and do not forget to like, share, and click on that subscribe button while you're at it. Also, if you enjoy this sort of nonsense, then head on over to whatculture.com and find some more fantastic articles just like the one this video you're watching right this second is based on. I've been Gareth from What Culture Star Wars. May the Force be with you as always. Thank you very much for watching this video today, and hopefully I'll see your faces very, very soon. Bye bye!